Good morning. Welcome back to Wicked Works. I bought another car, and you longtime followers would recognize this car as Ben's 63. Rachel and I bought it from him, but this is not the car that we're talking about today because I bought another car. This is going to take a little bit more work. So this is my 1970 that I just bought. It's a pretty complete project. I bought it from a customer of mine who has had it for about 13 years and basically just blew the whole thing apart. He did replace one of the pans. He also bought one of the last parcel trays manufactured by VW of Mexico before they discontinued that panel. So that's really cool. That's an actual VW produced panel. You got the nice Wolfsburg West pan on one side of the chassis. He gave me a whole bunch of sheet metal to finish it. I've got some Dansk channels in the back. I'm gonna build something a little bit different than what I've done in the past. I've not built this before. I did have delusions of grandeur and I wanted to build a tribute car to one of my father's cars that he had in the 70s. The biggest problem with that was that it wasn't a Beetle, it was a 68 Charger, and I can't afford one of those. So I was just gonna paint this car like that and make it, you know, all nice and pretty. And I just can't justify having 3 Beetles and 2 of them being really nice. So we're not gonna do that. Now, I can already hear some of you saying, oh, but Taylor, don't you also have the single cab and the bus and Clementine and Rita and George? To that I say, shut up, I'll do what I want. So let's take a look at the body. At first glance, the channel doesn't look too bad until you get up here, and then it looks pretty bad. And I'm pretty sure the other side has the same problem on the outside, but pretty much all of this up in here can be patched and fixed. And he had already patched this with a chunk out of the hood. And I'll show you why he used a chunk out of the hood and didn't just get new metal. But for the most part, the back of the car is pretty good. It's got a little bendy boy right there. I don't really care about that. Everything in here is nice. There's a couple of little pinholes here and there. Obviously the parcel tray is pretty well porked, so that's the thing. Can't wait to have to do that. You know, but overall we're gonna get rid of all the I can't use the word, otherwise they'll flag this, so all the unnecessary stuff. But all the brackets look good, everything back here is nice. Channel, like I said, toast. Someone cut a pretty significant hole in the dash for a radio. I am not going to pad this dash again. So I haven't decided if I want to try to weld over these vents or get Euro style vents like the Polish car does. I'm definitely going to have to fix that. And I don't know, I'm probably going to get rid of the heat knobs and all that crap, or all the fresh air knobs. I'd like to get rid of this because I hate that stupid airbox. The biggest problem is this. Let me pull this hood off and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Broke something. So it's definitely been in a front end thing. Dan did give me a full clip to replace that with, but Dubworks seems to think he can hammer this out, so we'll see. The front fenders are pretty well porked too, so we'll see what happens with that. But obviously the hood got crunched when that happened, so Dan just, you know, cut a big chunk out of the hood to fix that back there. You know, but it doesn't look like it really damaged anything from here back. I think the mounts for the beam are probably okay. The firewall looks like it's in pretty good shape, which is nice because I hate replacing those, even though I've done it once. Obviously the wiring is a mess. I'm probably going to make my own harness, and all of that is going to go away. I think I'm going to end up keeping the filler neck, which annoys me. Yeah. So that's it for the body. Let's take a look at the pan. So the pan's actually in really, really, really good shape. Like I said, he put Wolfsburg West pan on the other side. This is an original pan that held up pretty good. I think we're just going to end up painting that. He gave me some nice NOS fenders. I don't think they're NOS. I think they were installed at some point. But he gave me some nice fenders for the front. The rear ones are okay. And obviously this very nice panel. The transmission and everything else. So I think what I want to do today is see if I can make this chassis a roller, so that at some point soon I can kind of get the body back on and start trying to figure out how to do the channels. The arms, the trailing arms in the back of this have been pulled off, as well as the spring plates. So I gotta dig through all these bins and find all the wheel bearing parts, the stub axles, all the bolts for the trailing arms. Got to figure out how to get the torsion arms back in, or the torsion springs back in. So there's going to be definitely some digging around, and then hopefully we can throw that on. I think I have some leftover bolts, and I think I remember seeing the bolts for putting the beam on, so I might do that first just to feel like I did something today. I might also throw the deck lid on just to feel like I did something today. So let's go through the bins. One side in, and then get the spring in. There we go. So it's a little low on this side, and maybe a little high on that side. It's almost like it's bent. Oh, that's pretty good. It's not bad. Doesn't close, it's nice. It stays nice and solid. All right, this part's gonna be, I think, pretty easy. The back is gonna be the challenge, but I found some bolts that I'm pretty sure are correct. I might have to chase these threads, or at least the bolts anyway. but they do feel correct. So let me move this beam, and then I'm gonna jack up the front of this and see if we can get the beam on. Remember, kids, live with your back. Okay. All right. All right, well, that's a start. Let me see if I can get some jack stands somewhere under the chassis, and then I can use the floor jack to kind of move that around. In a little bit, maybe. Down. What are you wanting here? Wow. I was not expecting this to be the challenging part. But I'm like breaking a sweat, man. It's because of the drums. I know it is. Well, you get the idea. You know where the bolt's got to go. Let me struggle with this. I got it. It does often work a lot better when you have the right bolts. I think the ones I was using were shock bolts, so they just weren't quite long enough. But this will do fine. I found some more, so should be good enough just to make it a roller for now. So let me see if I can get this a little higher. Maybe we can put some wheels on the front, because he gave me some wheels. So let me see what I got kicking around for those. All right, so front end's on, got the ass end in the air, and we've got to get the trailing arms and the torsion springs in. Thankfully, the eccentric bolts are already there, but I need to find all of the in here bits for both sides and all of the over here bits for this, and maybe the spring plate bolts as well. So I've got this trash can full of shit, and that bin full of stuff, and these two bins full of things. So I'm hoping everything is kind of in there, or at least enough for me to put it together. Let me start assembling all the bits and pieces. All right, I think I have everything. The only thing I'm missing is a second circlip for the bearings. So I'm hoping, I mean, again, this is just to make everything roll around. I think with the drum and everything on, it'll stop the stub axle from coming out and all that. So now I just have to figure out how all of it goes together, because I didn't take it apart, so I'm struggling to remember how it all goes together. I think as long as I put it in there and it spins, it's not going to matter. I do, however, need to find a set of rear drums to put on this, because I don't think I took any with the car, and if I did, I don't know where I put them. So let me make sure I have drums that will fit over the axles, and then we can start trying to put one of these together. Okay. I think I'm going to put this guy in here first. Of course, now this is stuck. Hot tip, you can use a wrench on an Allen key if you got to put a little more sassafras on it. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to put the arm in first, so it's not so heavy when after I put all the other bits in it. All right, so this is the driver's side, and I know that because this is the pedestal for the bump stop, and that always faces up. So now we gotta try to get this in here, and I'm pretty sure the washers go on either side. So stick that in there, and then this I can do kind of like that. All right. Again, that doesn't have to be super good because I'm going to end up taking it all out anyway, but this is at least good enough for me to move that around. So now, I guess I'll do the torsion bar next. All right, so your round guy goes in here, and that's going to end up fitting over this, and then your notched guy goes in there. These are supposed to be directional, but he never marked them, and I can't tell, so I'm just going to... All right, I got to get my digital protractor here. So stock setting is 15 degrees, I'm pretty sure. So this is about level. And so we're at 16.4. It's probably as close as I'm going to get it. So I'm going to just get that in as far as I can. So let me get a mallet. Smack that guy in, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because once I start to lift this, it's just going to lift the whole thing. Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna get that up there. As I'm sure you can imagine, that didn't work. Oh, come on. Oh. Okay. All right. All right. Compressor's on. That doesn't sound like it's stripped at all. That's great. Sneak this guy in here. Be interesting. Oh, actually, it wasn't too difficult. I'm gonna get my floor jack underneath that. That should probably help. Okay. All right. So this bearing was already in there. So I'm hoping that I can put the roller bearing in the back, maybe. And then I can put, I'll put this guy oh. This is so wrong. And then we'll take this guy. Oh. There we go. Okay, and then these four. Okay, and then I should be able to take a drum. Perfect. So I'll tighten this up and then do the other side, and then we'll have a roller. Okay. Well, let's see if it rolls. Alignment's a little off. Look at that. All right, well, that'll pretty much do it for this episode. Maybe next time we're either going to start on metalwork or maybe take a look at the motor. Hopefully start on metalwork, because the motor doesn't really matter if I don't have a place to put it. So, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like, leave a comment, share with your friends. You can follow me on Instagram at WickedWorks. You can also shoot me an email at wickedworksvw@gmail.com if you yourself have something that you would like some work done on, maybe. I'm also thinking of selling the white super that you can't see because of the sun. Rachel and I just took that to Canada, and now suddenly we have a lot of beetles, and we just don't need this many beetles. So If you think you might be interested, shoot me an email. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.